You are a penis on a stick if you're a dude. And this little stick has decided the fate of empires, toppled kings, started wars, and literally carved civilization into stone. And today, we're gonna dive into the entire history of the penis. And why am I curious about that? Well, I mean, if I was to get my foot chopped off for my dick, or my arm chopped off for my dick, or my ear chopped off for my dick, I'm not going to choose my dick. That's the bottom line, really. Crusaders recorded mutilation where enemies' genitals were cut off as proof of domination. That's pretty dominant. Egyptians counted severed foreskins as war tallies. You're telling me that they cut off Jesus's dick and put it in a museum? Penis theft panic, genital shrinking, purses in Africa and Asia. Welcome, Loki. You just got here at the best part. Some of it's funny, but some of it can get a little weird, a little taboo, to say the least. Without further ado, let's light some incense and get this puppy started. In 2015, researchers from King's College London studied 1,500 men and found the global average erect length is 5.16 inches. Yet for centuries, Roman carved statues with small members because in their culture, a tiny penis equals disciplined, intelligence, and control. Imagine telling your girl, don't worry, babe, I'm not small, I'm just Statue of David core. It's a decent joke. It's a decent joke. I got my ChatGPT to write me a Trevor Wallace joke for every one of these points. The average penis size in the UK by region. The UK's average dick size is 6.36 inches. And the shortest is 6.11. Whoa, what are we talking about here? Okay, this is just UK. Every area in the entire UK is over 6. Okay. That's fine. 60% of people say they are satisfied with their partner's penis size. 35% say no. How's your sex life? 70% say decent. 57% say less happy. That does not math. Have you ever watched porn? Okay, let's keep going. Morning wood. Dawn is the ancient herald of renewal. And with it, the body sings its own resurrection. The phallus standing like a sunbeam, declaring life itself continues. Men actually get 3 to 5 erections every night while they sleep. Morning wood is just the one you notice. Whoa. In fact, doctors used to use it as a diagnostic tool. If a man can't get it up at night, the issue is physical. Can't get it up nighttime, right now. Physical, but not during the day. It was psychological. If you can get it up at night, but not during the day, then it's a psychological problem. Okay, noted. Bro, imagine the doctor coming in like, good news, you've been rock hard in your sleep. Bad news, I was there all night. We got a nice photo of some bananas sleeping with the male banana with a massive erect bottom half. Forget coffee, just wake up with a tent pole. Erectile dysfunction, mythic framing, the withering of the staff of life, has haunted man with the weight of mortality. The organ that gave kingdoms, cares, becomes a fragile reed. In 1998, Viagra was unleashed by accident. Scientists were testing heart medication, but volunteers didn't want to give the pills back because their side effect was too good. Overnight, erectile dysfunction went from taboo to $1 billion industry. Damn, dude. How many years is that? 1998. 1998 was the year that boners became available to everybody. You know, it's like the technological revolution right now. Like everyone could be an influencer. In 1998 was like everybody deserves a boner whenever they want. That's pretty sick. Imagine the first clinical trial. Yeah. When does this study end? I'm asking for my wife. Sorry. ED is your body saying, hey bro, maybe stop living off Monster Energies and Slim Jims. That kind of sucked. 4 to 10, Trevor Wallace joke. We got a massive chart here. Nearly 3 million new cases are reported every year just in the US. In the US alone, the number of affected men is upwards of 18%, That is nearly 300 million men. Damn. Do you have erectile dysfunction? There's 8 people. There's 9 people in here right now. One of you has erectile dysfunction, at least. Stats. 50% is the increase for smoking. The odds just went up to like 2 out of 3 people in this chat have erectile dysfunction. Probability of developing erectile dysfunction by age 20 to 40, 5%. Erectile dysfunction 60 to 75, 20%. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Implants can also be initiated to mimic the effects of erection medication. I think we're going to get into some stuff later on that. There's some crazy categories. Okay. The statue of David and tiny Greek dongs is the next category. Marble bodies immortalized gods. Yet, the phallus remained humble, a reminder of modesty, control, and intellect over lust. Michelangelo's David, the most famous nude in art history, has a comically small penis. But in ancient Greece and Rome, small was actually civilized. It's like aesthetics evolve over time. It's so interesting how there's all these different things, like, for instance, tan. Like, I'm pretty tan right now. Back in the day, it was actually cooler to not be tanned because that meant that you could be inside all day and not have to do like slave work and stuff like that. And so in regards to now, it's cooler because that means you're not in an office building all of the time, just doing nothing that you're actually passionate about. And so it develops these social, circumstances make us desire people who live a certain lifestyle and who are interesting for certain reasons, not because of the objective aesthetics necessarily. So yeah, if you ever feel self-conscious, just remember, Michelangelo literally took at marble for years and thought, yeah, bro, 2 inches soft, that's peak masculinity. Let's go. And that is the famous statue right there. And for our viewers over here, you can't see the photo, but there's a little boy posing under this Greek god statue with a tiny dome. History of circumcision. Flesh as covenant, a cut as proof of belonging. For Jews, Muslims, and ancient tribes, the foreskin was the offering, the penis the altar. The oldest evidence of circumcision dates back over 4,000 years in Egypt. Some tribes practice it as a puberty rite, others saw it as a spiritual sacrifice. In modern America, the rise of circumcision actually came from 19th century doctors who believed it would stop boys from masturbating. What? That did not work well. That's actually where it came from? Hold up. In modern America, the rise of circumcision actually came from 19th century doctors who believed it would stop boys from masturbating. There's got to be a fact check on that. Can someone ChatGPT that? You dropped my tip because you were scared of me jerking off? My guy, that made it easier. Your very first body mod wasn't a tattoo, wasn't a piercing. It was getting tricked into a haircut you didn't ask for. That is fucked up. That is not cool. In ancient Greece, Dionysian festivals paraded giant wooden phalluses through the streets, symbolizing harvest and fertility. In Japan today, the Kanamara Matsuri Festival of the Steel Phallus draws thousands to celebrate with candy, shrines, and even penis-shaped radishes. Imagine explaining to your buddy, yeah, bro, I went to Japan to see temples, but the photos just you smiling in front of a 10-inch pink foot dong. Pink float dong. I gotta look this up. What does this look like? The Festival of the Steel Phallus attracts thousands of people per year right now. What? Oh my god. That chick's just riding. Oh my god. What is going on? Can I even show this? Some of these photos are hidden. Some of these photos are hidden. Okay. Window capture. Festival of the Street Phallus. What is this? What is this? Oh my god. We are not doing culture right, apparently. Look at this. These guys have floats of pink dicks that they're worshipping, and there's little Asian ladies. What is that? Oh my god, this dude has a bong. That's a bong. Made of a dick to blow on it and to pour the water in. What is this? Is this porn? Oh, there's mascots dressed as penises. How do you not know about this? How does society not know about this? What? This is incredible. Oh my god. There's this whole festival completely based around dicks. Okay, so they're saying it goes towards something. There's like some causes. It goes to HIV and AIDS awareness support. So they throw this massive pink dick float per year and sell dick lollipops and all of this to support breast cancer. Okay, makes sense. Makes a little bit more sense. Sick. Fantastic. That's awesome. I need to go there. You said it's Japan? Is that Japan? Yeah, Japan. Okay. Japan's on the list now. I see why PewDiePie would move to Japan. That seems like something that he would be open to checking out. Just seems up his alley. And I'm a fan. I think he's cool. I think he'd just find this interesting. Penis envy in psychology. Freud once claimed the great wound of womanhood was the absence of the phallus, the symbol of power, a myth that sparked wars in psychology and in bedrooms. Freud's theory of penis envy, from 1910, became infamous, suggesting that woman's dissatisfaction came from this one's crazy. Where's my photo for this? Came from not having a penis. His student Carl Jung later rejected it. I love Carl Jung. Arguing instead for womb envy, that men feared woman's power to create life. Okay, so they're both playing on either side of the coin. I guess that's fair. Girls want to have dicks and dudes want to have vaginas. I suppose that makes sense. Who doesn't want to be able to create life? It's pretty cool. And then like I see their point as well too. I think it's so funny when you hear like a famous guy, like a super serious person, and they're talking about like this very serious, like medical like thing, like this theory that they're coming out with, you know, from the all of like the school systems that back them. And they're like, I believe I've got a new theory. Oh, Mr. Freud, what is your theory? Yes, bestow upon us your wisdom. Like, penis envy theory. Like, oh, Mr. Freud, what is your theory? What is your theory about penis envy? And they're like, well, I believe that women are dissatisfied in bed when I have sex with them because they want my penis. That's basically his theory. And then Carl Jung, who's like the top G of everything shadow work, who studied underneath Freud, is like, bro, that's a little crazy, don't you think? And he's like, you know what? Actually, I think it's the other way around. I want a vagina. And so his boss wanted, his boss had an egocentric perspective and thought all the girls didn't like him because they wanted his dick, and then Carl Jung just wanted to be a woman. And this is how transgender started. Okay, castration in history. The severed phallus has always carried strange power. Sacrifice that births gods, a punishment that silences voices, a ritual both feared and worshipped. The castrati of Renaissance Europe were boys castrated before puberty to preserve their angelic singing voices. Some rose to fame in opera houses, adored by audiences and popes alike, yet lived in sorrow, their bodies never allowed to mature. Damn, that's pretty messed up. I don't know how I feel about that. Basically, they seen it as a form of purity to Does castration mean that their dicks were cut off? What does that castration mean? The removal of the testicles, which halts the production of sex hormones and reproduction. What? That's messed up. So they basically like got rid of these young boys' balls so that they could have better bells. So that they could sing better. So there's just all of these opera singers, these opera boys, opera men that had no balls, and they just had to dedicate their life to opera because of this. It's pretty crazy. Congrats, son. You're gonna sing for the Pope. And the fine print is no balls. Talk about hidden feasts. Or to put it another way, it was history's first quit porn challenge, but with a little too much commitment. Penis as a cosmic symbol. The phallus was never just flesh, it was a pillar, a world axis, the thunderbolt of Zeus, the staff of Osiris. Across civilizations, it mirrored the heavens. In Hindu myth, Shiva's lingam is the cosmic pillar of fire, stretching endlessly through creation. Priests poured milk and honey over stone ligaments, honoring it as the pulse of the universe itself. We're talking about dicks? Shiva's lingam is the cosmic pillar of fire, stretching endlessly through creation. That's a bold analogy. A dick, a massive stone dick, stretching through creation endlessly. Priests poured milk and honey over stone ligaments. Damn. Bro, imagine trying to explain to your parents you're late for dinner because you were busy pouring milk on a stone penis. Like, sorry mom. I know you just made potatoes and corn. I love it when you make me pork chops, but I was out. I'm sorry. I'll reheat it. I'll microwave it. I'm sorry. I was pouring milk on a stone penis. That's funny. People have been looking at random tall things, obelisks, skyscrapers, rockets, and going, yeah, that's definitely a dick. Let's get some guns and fill it with milk. Those are crazy visuals. For those who can't see the visuals, there is stone dicks with dicks. Those are dicks with dicks. And more dicks. With angel wings. Famous cases of injury. The breaking of the phallus has always struck terror and fascination, where creation meets destruction. In 1993, John Wayne Boppett's wife, Lorena, famously cut off his penis after years of abuse, throwing it out her car window. Doctors reattached it in a 9-hour surgery, and Bobbitt later starred in adult films? What? What a crazy arc. What a crazy arc. What incarnation is right? Did you hear what I just said? Let me read that again. John Wayne, a famous dude, I don't know who that is, but it sounds familiar. His wife cut off his penis after years of abuse, throwing it out of a car window. Doctors reattached it in 9-hour surgery, and he later starred in adult films, proving myth and tabloids sometimes meet. My man went from ouch to OnlyFans pioneer. Like that. Like that. Talk about a rebrand. As every dude watching this just thought, yeah. And that's why I cross my legs every time I see a baseball bat. Witchcraft and the stolen phallus. This one's pretty crazy. There's a crazy visual on here. In the Middle Ages, witches were accused of stealing men's phalluses, hiding them in nests, or feeding them, pause, like pets. In the Middle Ages, witches were accused of stealing men's phalluses, aka dicks, hiding them in nests, okay, or feeding the dicks, like pets. Okay. The stolen seeds symbolize stolen power. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Yep. Recorded trials where men swore. So in the 15th century, Malleus Maleficarum were recorded trials where men swore witches kept boxes of penises, some allegedly alive, hopping like worms. Hopping like worms. Okay, there's a photo right here of a witch. Okay, I can show you. This photo. Look at this photo. Let me switch this around. What is that? What is that? What is this? What is that? What is going on here? Excuse me. Hello? That's not cool. Not cool. Not sure how I feel about that, but let's continue on. See, this is why we need to know about these things, because you're just living your day playing Fortnite and going to school or work, and there's probably witches out here with dicks in cages. This is like the male equivalent of the slave trade industry. It's like there's women who get trafficked at a high degree, and it's horrible, and then there's witches who steal guys' penises. And this is what we need to watch out for. The curses of the gods. Divine wrath often struck the phalluses. The god punished through impotence, disease, or transformation. In Greek myth, Asclepion stumbled upon the Artemis bathing. For his trespass, he was transformed into a stag and torn apart, a punishment tied to lust and violation. In other tales, Priapus cursed his enemies with impotence. Bro went from Peeping Tom to Bambi's dad real quick. I'm going to read that one more time. Asclepion stumbled upon Artemis bathing. For his trespass, he was transformed into a deer and torn apart, a punishment tied to lust and violation. Okay, what did that have to do with dicks? Divine wrath often struck the phallus. The gods punished. Oh, he stumbled. Oh, he stumbled upon him. Get it? You get it, Ethan? Thanks for the rose, bro. He stumbled upon him. Stumbled upon him. Naked. I get it. Bro went from Peeping Tom to Bambi's dad real quick. Imagine being cursed by a god, not with lightning, but with plagues. Just permanent Viagra. That's not divine wrath. That's a frat hazing ritual. Imagine being... yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Extreme initiation rituals. To prove manhood, cultures often scarred, pierced, or bloodied the phallus, pain as a gateway to power. In parts of Papua New Guinea, boys were subjected to sub-incision, where the underside of the penis was cut open to mimic menstruation. Ew. What? Ew. Don't do that. Believed to cleanse and initiate them into adulthood. Who came up with that one? Who came up with that rule? That's messed up. Where the underside of the penis was cut to open and mimic menstruation, Papua New Guinea boys are subjected to this as initiation into adulthood. And you thought frat hazing was bad. At least they only make you shoot a gun, not shotgun your dick. It's messed up. Yeah, bro, I got initiated too. I shotgunned a natty light and pissed my jeans. Totally the same thing. I had a happy dad, and I had 10 happy dads, and did a keg stand, and it was great. And I mean, I have sympathy for you that they slit open the bottom of your dick, but I think mine was harder, to be honest. You do not know how hard it is to keep your balance on a keg stand. I'll tell you what. Penis as power in war. Yo, what's good, dude? Congrats, Ethan lit up the rose. Let's go. Let's go, bro. My freaking TikTok's just going crazy, man. It's like, yo, Ethan's just throwing roses, man. Thanks, bro. I'll grow you a garden. Okay, penis as power in war. To conquer another man was to conquer his seed. Armies left their enemies unmanned as proof of victory. Story. Ancient Assyrian kings recorded soldiers taking bags of severed genitals as war trophies. In Homer's Iliad, warriors threatened mutilation to dishonor the fallen. That makes sense. Imagine pulling up the PR with a sack full of dicks. Yeah, just clocking out, boss. Yeah, bro, I got 12 kills and 12 dicks in my inventory. That's good. That's good. That's crazy. That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I get why they would do that. Like, if I was in Battlefield. Just like, you ever see, like, Forrest Gump, how Forrest's, like, him and his black friend are in the war. And like, Bubba, like, is almost dead. And you know, like, Forrest, like, gets him on his shoulder, and then Forrest Gump runs and runs and runs just forever and gets his friend to safety. And it's like, what if Forrest was just a dick collector? And he had better things to be doing. You know? What if that was his thing? Bubba Gump shrimp wouldn't be a thing. Or I guess maybe it would. Maybe that's why it was called Bubba Gump Shrimp. Well, I know he had a shrimp boat or whatever. But he had a shrimp dick too. Modern medical oddities. Even in the age of science, the phallus refuses to be ordinary. It mutates, resists, astounds. In 2015, a British man received the world's first successful penis transplant. Oh, dude. After losing his to cancer. But you don't need to lose it to cancer necessarily, I would assume. That's what I'm getting at. You see, I, or you, who don't have cancer, are getting a blood test. It's like, hey, I think I might be low in iron. Could I get a new dick? Maybe? 8 inches? 9? Maybe start a little higher and compromise? Surgeons in the United Kingdom have reattached a man's penis nearly a day after it was cut off as well, too. The longest documented time the organ has been without a blood supply and still successfully replanted. 6 weeks after the operation, the young man's urethra was not only working again, sensation had also returned to his penis. Thanks to a carefully reattached artery and vein, the patient was even able to achieve a full erection. Somewhere, there's a dude bragging, like, yeah, this is my third dick. So we basically reached a point where Build-A-Bear exists for dicks. Yeah, let me get the deluxe model with Bluetooth and a cup holder. Thanks. That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy that's where we're at in society. Next. Freud saw the phallus everywhere. Oh, we're back to Freud. Back to Freud here, Mr. Freudy boy. Freudy boy loves his dick theories. This is the chart. That's crazy. This is a crazy chart. Look at this. So this is tier 4, the archetypal and psychological tier. Freud saw this. Freud saw dicks everywhere, in cigars, in skyscrapers, in dreams. To him, it was not an organ, but an oracle. I'd say. Oh my god, I have a lazy eye too. What are you talking about, Jack? What are you talking about? I don't have a lazy eye. I don't know what you're saying. That's a troll. But I respect it. Because we're talking about ticks, so it's not a very serious place, obviously. Freud's 1905 work, 3 essays on sexuality, positioned the phallus as the primal symbol of power, repression, and civilization itself. His obsession shaped an entire century of thought. Huh. I actually gotta save that. 3 essays on sexuality, positioned the phallus. Oh, what the f... What did I do? Where'd everything go? Position the phallus as the primal symbol of his power. I'm saving that. I assume that's like an audiobook on YouTube or something. Let's see if we can find it here. 1905. Work 3 essays on sexuality. What's going on? Missed it. Homie did a review on it. Every single Freud book explained in 1 sentence. That is not helpful. Ah, here it is. Oh, it's 5 minutes. There it is. Boom. Full audiobook. 3 essays on the theory behind Sigmund Freud. Boom. We're gonna save that bad boy. There we go. This is how you become smart, my friends. Okay. Freud was basically that one friend who can't stop saying, "That's what she said," but in Latin. Bro really looked at the Eiffel Tower and was like, "Yeah, that's just a giant boner in Paris. Calm down, Sigmund. Smoke a blunt." This is a hilarious screenshot. According to Freud, the female desire to have a penis, a condition that usually results in their attraction to males. This is just a chick. Unbeknownst to the context this was going to be put into, sitting on a log. Just like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? That's hilarious. Look at this photo. Come on. What's going on here? Why would they put this poor innocent woman through this? She had no idea what they were going to put context-wise right there. Like, come on. Come on. There's no way that she had given consent to being included in this photo. There's 0 chance. Not even like conceptual. Not even possible. It's literally not even possible. But that's okay. I feel for her, but it's okay. Phallic archetypes in myth. Trickster gods, fertility demons, sacred fools across cultures, the phallus carried archetypal mask. In Japanese folklore, the Shinto god Sasanu once threw a skinned pony into his sister's weaving hall, a phallic prank sparking divine chaos. Meanwhile, Priapus, the Greek god with permanent erection, that's a dope power, haunted gardens as both protector and joke. Basically the OG locker room humor, except instead of Sharpie dicks on the wall, it was actual gods showing up with them. So basically Harry Potter's wand, just a penis metaphor. Expelliarmus! Nah bro, it's just wizard foreplay. Okay. Phallic anxiety and shadow. Where there is son of virility, there is the shadow of fear. Fear of loss, impotence, or inadequacy. The phallus carries its own underworld. In Jungian psychology, the phallus becomes more part of the shadow self, a hidden source of insecurity. That's definitely it for a lot of people, 100%. What? Black has not ended 5 minutes of recording for being too jacked for that. Dude, that got me. That is a troll if I've ever seen one. 67. You're welcome. That's a troll if I've ever seen one. Homie literally has his name as notification with a bell and comments notification things with fancy emojis. Don't. Oh my god. This guy good boy. This guy just told me to say a number for a creative project, which I was happy to back, happy to contribute to your creative successes, and you good boy me. That's messed up. Next, the penis as cosmic axis. Dude, what are people saying about this lazy eye thing? What is going on right now? What is going on right now? We have to make it a... There. What the sus? That's what I'm saying. It got worse. Get out of here, Noah. Get out of here. I'm trying to educate you on dicks. Do you have no respect? No respect. Move the camera back. Now you can see this, though. Which is kind of cracked. Don't you think that that's an improvement? I think that's a pretty cool little setup there, don't you? You didn't expect me to be that prepared, did you? Did you? You thought I was just ranting off some shit. I'm a planner, Noah. I'm a planner and an artist, clearly. But I can move it back. You genuinely think it look better. But we're gonna keep going. I planner. What does that mean? Okay. The phallus's rise is the axis mundi, the world pillar linking Earth to heaven, mortality to eternity. I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong. Yggdrasil. In Norse myth, Yggdrasil, the world tree, often symbolized the phallic life force, uniting realms. In Hinduism, the ligament isn't just a phallus, it's the pillar of fire that has no beginning or end. Damn, that's deep. So people see this as like serious stuff, like really important stuff. Basically, the universe is just one giant No Nut November challenge. Or to put it another way, this it's man's built-in selfie stick. Nice. Erotic mysticism and tantra. The phallus as vessel for divine energy, sex transformed into sacrament. In tantric rituals, the lingam, penis, and the yoni, vulva, that's cool to know. Lingam means penis and yoni means vulva, unite to mirror the cosmic dance of Shiva and Shakti. Some sects practiced ritual intercourse to transcend the ego and merge with the divine. Imagine telling your girl, babe, this isn't Netflix and chill, this is literally enlightenment. Yeah, that's how we should all be doing it. Do you know Lena? Lena the plug? Is that what you're talking about? I'm talking about penises. That's what I'm talking about. And you say Elizabeth. I don't know who you're talking about. Meanwhile, Chad from Tinder is like, yeah, babe, I'm basically a tantric god. Bro, you lasted 42 seconds. Yeah, there's a bunch of spiritual shit about the Kundalini awakening. Have you guys ever heard about that? The Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini, check out this. So the Kundalini awakening is basically the whole concept of you having sexual energy in your dick spot or your vag spot, and it comes up the spine, right? And all chakra knots still exist except the base chakra knot. Very high energy pressure, and basically there's like meditations and like yoga stuff, ways you can move your body, which amplify the energy in your body, and it starts from your like sex organs, basically. So cool to know. Cool to know. Moving on. Numbers became the new mythos, the average size obsession. This is a relevant one. Numbers became the new myths, measurements replacing omens, anxiety carved into inches. A 2015 British Journal of Urology study gathered data from over 1,500 men, finally stating the average erect penis length is 5.16 inches. That number alone became a cultural talisman, endlessly memed and debated. Drop your average dick size in the comments. No. 5.16 inches? Bro, that's like a Taco Bell burrito. Respectable, but nobody's writing scripture about it. Every guy after Googling average size is like, well, technically I'm above average. If we count Canada. What? What are you talking about? I got ChatGPT to make me these jokes, and they're joking about how Canadians have the smallest dick sizes. I'm Canadian. What is the average size in Canada? Average dick size in Canada. What is the average dick size in Canada? There's no official average dick size in Canada? Bullshit. What is the average dick size in Canada? What is the average male dick size in Canada? Oh, that's tight. What is going on? Is there like some secret cover-up about showing over all countries the average dick size? It's 5 point... You should be concerned. 8 centimeters. 12 inches. See? What's going on? What is going on? Why can't we all agree? Can we all look this up? Can we all use our collective power of ChatGPT and Google search? Can someone get me the accurate data on what the average Canadian dick size is? Because ChatGPT wrote me these facts on penises, and they're making fun of Canadian dick size being the smallest dick size, but there's no tangible evidence to back that up that I can find here. It's kind of suspicious. Kind of suspicious. What is the average penis size in Canada and the world? Do you have a collection of anything? Coming from a person named Grapefruit, you belong in this conversation about penises. What is the... by Elena Shepard. Come on, Elena. Come on, Elena. What's the average? A 2022 study finds that men in Canada have a larger average penis size than men in many countries, beating out the United States and United Kingdom. I'm patriotic. What can I say? A new study finds that men in Canada have some of the biggest members in the world. Oh my god, this is so biased. This is coming. I mean, as a Canadian, I have to disagree. Bro, shut up. Thoughts on pronouns? Oh, bro, shut up. Don't ruin our cred. It is written in facts. Elena is speaking facts, okay? Look at this. Larger than average than many countries. US and UK. Big dick energy. Study finds that men in Canada have some of the biggest members in the world. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. Thoughts on pronouns? I think they're stupid. I think pronouns are stupid. I think you're male or female. And, yeah. That's that. No hate, but that's that. Okay. That's cool. That was cool to know. I'm happy about that. I'm happy. Let's go Canada. W Canada. The pursuit of growth is as old as man himself. And, okay, actually, you talked about... Let's talk about that for a second. So you like Trump. I'm not going to say I like Trump or dislike Trump, or I like Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or dislike either of them. But what I will say is that if you study history, you're going to find people who are gay. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most revered people in all of history, was gay. Okay? If you study history, you're going to find very few transgender people. Why? Because cutting off people's dicks is freaking weird. It's weird, bro. Especially kids. Especially without their parents' consent. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. It's also pretty weird to pose as like a different type of person. And as the person in chat just talked about, saying Jesus loves me, thank you. I appreciate that. I love Jesus. I would like to believe that every human being has the potential to become constructive to the other human beings a part of the earth, and that expressing their individuality maximally and finding a constructive place within the social circumstance is possible for everybody. And having their circumstance be something which is abstract is totally fine. That can be individuality. When I think it gets bad or weird is when there are people who are living their lives based upon these ideas. Maybe we're talking about like transgenderism, for instance, in many circumstances, which, like, who are we to say that the forces that be, very powerful people, are incentivizing people to see this as an option to have them weaker, have the men not be able to fight war so that we would be easy to control and invade and to manipulate because they're so insecure about who they are and what they do and not be able to reproduce, you know? So, to summarize it, I think cutting off dicks is weird. Yeah. I'd have my wiener chopped off for Frosties from Wendy's. Frosty from Wendy's. All right, Del. DM me if you want to PayPal. I will. That sounds like a crazy stream. I gotta say. It depends which Frosty you'd have. I'd only be willing to spring for the small. Yeah. Medium Frosty isn't worth a dick cutting video. I don't know. Sorry, this got dark. Okay. Jelking and stretching practices. I've heard this is real from like porn stars, but when ChatGPT gave me this info, it was like the misinformation of jelking. But I've literally heard male porn stars talk about how this is real, and female ones, like how you can grow your dick size by doing like dick stretches, basically. The pursuit of growth is as old as man himself. Hands become tools of alchemy. Jelking, a supposed Middle Eastern practice of stretching the penis to enlarge it, gained popularity on internet forums in the 1990s. Some men swore by it, others warned of lasting damage. I just noticed the background and now I understand. You look like Dixon Myers. I don't know who that is. And yeah, now you understand. That's crazy. Yeah, obviously some people swear by it because it's working. Nobody just swears by things if they're not noticing a benefit. Especially like porn stars. Like obviously they're gonna know if it actually helps. And it's the exact same thing as the gym if you think about it. Like I've maybe done it once. Maybe once. Just because you hear about this and you're like, come on. You gotta figure out like, is there any legitimacy to this? If you say Dixon Myers 3 times, your lights will go. Dixon Myers, Dixon Myers, Dixon Myers. Is that one of those things? Is that one of those things where I just said something crazy? Because I said Dixon Myers. Oh my god, is that saying dicks on my ass? Is that what that says? Okay, I don't care. Basically CrossFit for your junk. Yeah, bro, I PR'd today. My dick's exhausted. It basically is though. It literally is. It's like a workout for your dick. Like why wouldn't it be the exact same as any workout that you do at a gym? It's just for your dick. It's just a muscle. Like it's just, you know. Thoughts on a woman being president? I think that'd be dope. I could imagine several chicks being effective presidents. I think the interesting relationship with that is like female energy and power. If they're making decisions based off masculine energy or feminine energy, because if it's off feminine energy, then that's going to be very significant to how the company is guided, or the country is guided. But if it's off masculine energy, like, and it's very similar to how countries have always been done, I think it could go very similarly. Almost happened, I suppose, with Hillary there. Yeah, no, I think that'd be cool, especially if it was a smart chick. Some chicks are smarter than guys in lots of different things. It's also a lot less about gender and a lot more about their political level of like corruption and proper correction and how much heart they have and how much authority they actually have versus how much they are just projecting that we'd project that we'd assume they have versus what they actually have. You know what I'm saying? Penis enlargement surgery. The surgeon's blade is the new shaman's knife, the sacrifice or flesh for the promise of power. In modern clinics, procedures range from ligament cutting to fat injections. But in 2006, a German man died after attempting DIY injections of silicone oil. Ooh, proving desire can outpace reason. Imagine explaining that at the ER. So what happened was, I was trying to make my penis into a memory foam mattress. So it's basically it's pimp my ride, but for your junk. Yo dog, we heard you like length, so we put some length in your length. Nice, love that, love that. That's awesome. Hormones and enhancement drugs, alchemy reborn as chemistry, potions of power, bottled in blue. Viagra, discovered by accident in 1989 during trials for heart disease, became a billion-dollar industry overnight. Entire generations now tether virility to pharmaceuticals. Shout out to Pfizer. They just they made sure your grandpa could still clap cheeks in retirement. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Pfizer. They made sure your grandpa could clap cheeks in retirement. That's fire. And every dude who just takes it recreationally is out here looking like Thor trying to deliver Postmates. Let's kill Viagra. Yeah, Viagra's like a company, hey? Like, they did some wonders. Like, who doesn't know what Viagra is, right? That's fire. It's fire. They're doing wonders, clearly. The history of penis pumps. Devices of suction and hope, promising transformation. The first recorded penis pump was patented in 1874 by John King. By the 20th century, they were marketed as health devices for blood circulation, before migrating to late-night infomercials. Imagine being the 1874 salesman like, "Gentlemen, step right up. We're harnessing the future with vacuum technology for your penis." Penis pumps are like pre-workout for your junk. One more rep, bro. Push through the burn. That's good. Why do I got a lighter? Because I lit some incense back there. It smells phenomenal in here. That's a code of the universe. If you're going to talk about penises, you have to light incense first. It's like fighting positive entities into your room instead of negative entities, I suppose. You didn't get muted. I can see you. Whoa, this thing thinks I'm a robot. What the hell? I can see you. You didn't get muted. You're good. You are good. Let's go. Longevity rituals. Taoist, tantric, and yogic. To preserve the phallus was to preserve life itself. Rituals stretched across centuries. Taoist alchemists in ancient China taught semen retention as path to immortality. Interesting. I've been... Read my questions. They're awesome. Say another one. Yeah, say them again. I've been using semen retention in a lot of my videos that I've been posting because I've looked it up online and a lot of people are searching for it. It's like actually a hot topic-y thing. There's demand for that apparently. Emperors kept manuals describing how fewer ejaculations meant longer life and sharper spirits. That makes sense. I love the topic of using sensual energy as a vehicle for creative expression. You know, like, I built this room, for instance. Like, if you're to look at this room that's around me, right here, right? Like, I put up that boxing bag, that little handbag. I soundproofed this wall. I have a crazy badass wardrobe. Super cool clothes. I got, just for this video, I got a phallus. I got a dick on a pendant. Amplifying my sensual energy. It's pretty sick. Anyway, all this stuff. My shirt says obey, and I like the meanings of things like that. I got my logo over there for my social media. I literally got cool posters, everything. I got a jacked Pikachu, bro. All this stuff takes honed intention, and that takes creative energy, which is the same thing as sensual energy. Violation detected. Live now to avoid suspension. I'm straight. What the heck? That is a person. Get out of here. I'm gonna ban you. I dislike that. That's a cracked way to troll. Get out of here. Now I know. The jig's up. I'm just blocking you. Yo, can I join the live? I made a last live, made 3K likes. No, I'm doing something right now, but I appreciate it. What's up, Caitlin? We're talking about some really important stuff right now. Okay. Tier 6. The taboo, the dark, and the infamous. The cult of castration, scopsy, Heaven's Gate, etc. To cut away was not always loss. Sometimes it was seen as transcendence. The ancient Gali priests of Cybele castrated themselves in frenzied rituals, offering their virility to the goddess. Eunuchs served in royal courts across history as powerful advisors. So priests castrated themselves in rituals, offering their virility to the goddess. Okay. Now I get why people see them so, like... Okay. Everyone's saying what's happening right now. I thought that there was like a thing that said what was going on. There. Now you can see in the background. We're talking about dicks. That's what's happening. We're just going over dick facts. Sharpening up our trivia on dicks. It's the complete guide to dicks. That's not a cult. That's just the worst frat initiation ever. Having to cut off your dick because you're a priest. That's not fun. Imagine joining a cult and step 1 is like, yeah, we're all in the cult of cutting off our balls tonight. Bro, I thought we were just doing matching robes. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. I wouldn't join that cult. Maybe another cult. Not that one. Phallic curses and myths. Curses often targeted virility. To strike the penis was to strike lineage, honor, and spirit. Story. In ancient Egypt, magical papyri, that's like the cool paper, describes spells to shrink or wither an enemy's penis. Bro! I do appreciate your roses. Thank you for the roses. I don't know what your what filter you're talking about. And that's fire. Could you imagine if you were a superhero, right? And your power was shrinking other people's penises or making a woman's vagina saggy? That's a crazy power, dude. Could you imagine? Nobody would want to mess with you. Nobody would want to mess with you. Like, why would you risk something? You know what I mean? That's extreme stuff. It's an extreme battle. Like, you could kill them, but like, you just wouldn't want to take the chance. You know what I'm saying? Lucky Penguin 01. What is your prediction for the 2026 midterm election? I'm talking about some really serious penis information right now, Lucky Penguin 04. Leave your silly political questions for the end. Okay? Thank you. Appreciate it. All love. We're just trying to talk about serious stuff right now. Infamous historical penises. Napoleon, Rasputin, etc. Flesh became relic. Rulers and artists remembered by the organ. Napoleon Bonaparte's penis was allegedly cut off during autopsy in 1821, later sold at auction and displayed like a relic. Rasputin's penis, they say organ, penis, rumored to be, get out of here, 12 inches. Hold on. I don't even know who Rasputin is, but now I need to know who it is. This dude had a 12-inch penis? Get out of here. Oh, I've seen a photo of this dude's dick. I've seen a photo of this dude's dick. Where did my photos go? I have a photo of this dude's dick. I need to find it. Where did the photos go? I didn't insert the photos. Oh, I couldn't insert the photos. Yeah, I seen photos of this museum dick and this super hot chick posing their face right beside this dick, and I was like, what's going on here? And it's because it's 12 inches. That's why it's in a museum, and it's this famous dude's dick who's in 12 inches. It's crazy. That's crazy. It's pretty wild that they can just take famous people's dicks. Bro, are you gay? No, I'm not gay. Why'd you say that? It's messed up. Are we dead ass? Yeah. Also, listen to Rasputin's song. It tells you a lot that you need to know about the dude. He has songs? Rasputin had songs? What? I thought this dude was from like 1500s or whatever. What's this Rasputin song? A song about him. Rasputin, what's it called? Rasputin Just Dance is the only one that came up. Tell me what the song is and I'll search into it. Are you saying that there's a song about how big his dick is? Like that's what the song is based around? That's why he has a song? It's about his dick? Just Dance, Rasputin. Okay. Let's listen to this. Oh, dude. This dude's doing Just Dance. Let's go. Let's see if I can do it. They literally have like a Just Dance video on here. I can't dance at all. This is intimidating now. Oh, I'm supposed to be listening to these lyrics. Shit. Lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that was really gone. Rah, rah, Rasputin. Russia was a glove machine. It was a shame how he carried on. Did they already talk about his dick and I missed it? Did they already talk about the dick? Hopefully I didn't miss it. Hard. Yeah, dude, this is good. Dude, this dude's busting out. Hell yeah, dude. Boston. Let's go. Said that's not all. Turn off the squeeze. Okay, I'm gonna say the words. He would wheel a dealer, though he she believed he was a holy healer who would heal her son. Is this like an expert level Just Dance? This is hardcore, man. Dude's like shaking his ass and shit. What the hell's going on? He's doing like heel kicks. Okay. And thus saying, his power became known to more and more. Holy shit, he's on his knees right now. The courageous man became louder and louder. Hey. Okay, so like, what of those lyrics was I supposed to get? I just heard they just talking about lust and stuff. I thought this was the easiest Just Dance. Dude! Did you? Okay. That was not the easiest Just Dance. Given I was just hopping into it, but like, look at this move. You just said that this is the... Put your back into it. Yeah, you're right. I was nervous. You guys make me nervous. Dude, you just told me this is the easiest Just Dance. You're saying this is easy? That's easy? That's easy to you? That's easy? That's easy? Get out of here. Get out of here. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing. Easiest is TikTok. TikTok. Yeah, I can see that. It's pretty consistent. Okay, guys, we're getting off topic here. I want to thank you for showing me that because it was fun to butcher some dancing, but I don't understand what lyrics I was supposed to view on that, so that's kind of chopped. Okay. Tell me what I was supposed to get out of that. Because I walked into Just Dance. Okay. Okay. Alright. No more Just Dance. Sorry. You like Just Dance? Sorry. We're done now. Now we're talking about penises again. Genital mutilation in warfare and punishment. This is the next topic. Just Dance to this. This is what we're here for. So, yeah. You're welcome. Oh. Somebody invited me to co-host? Why is that framed like I would want to do that? No. Okay. Back then it wasn't teabagging your enemy. It was literally like, yeah, you don't want to know. Just harvesting. Okay. Pretty crazy. Phallus relics and worshipped organs. Even severed, the phallus was revered. Death could not strip its sacredness. In France, the holy prepuce, Christ's foreskin. What's going on? What's about to happen right now? We're talking about... Okay. In France, the holy prepuce, aka Christ's foreskin, was venerated as a relic for centuries. Really? Pilgrims traveled miles to see what was said to be the literal fragment of God incarnate. You're telling me that they cut off Jesus's dick and put it in a museum? Okay, I gotta look that up. In France, they're literally saying that Jesus's foreskin is in a museum. Holy shit. What? What? Oh my god. Dude, answer your question. What is your necklace? Yeah, dude, it's a phallus. It's a dick. It's actually rose quartz, which means that it amplifies sexual energy. So it's basically like a symbol of amplifying sexual energy. I actually ran into these two lesbians today, and they were both really attracted to me, and they were clearly together, and I know that they have a child, and it was kind of hot. And I think this amplified my sexual energy towards them, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what is going on here? What is this? What is this? What is that? What is that? What is that, bro? Come on. Come on. That's at a museum? That's at a museum? Ari. Yeah, put a little halo, and that helps everybody. Oh my god, what? Why is this just like a casual thing I'm finding right now? Weird facts about Jesus's foreskin. What? Oh my god. There were at least 12 holy foreskins in the churches. Okay. Okay. Churches, abbeys, and charoks in Italy at all some stage claim to own Jesus's foreskin or a piece of it. There are so many holy foreskins. It's like John the Baptist had at least 3 heads, if not more like 8. What are we talking about right now? And it's the same as the holy foreskin. There are loads of them, probably so many more in existence than we know about. Where are they getting these foreskins from? The question of whether Jesus was circumcised was a major theological question in the Middle Ages. There were 2 schools of thought on this. Some said that Christ's body must have been whole because it was how God designed it. A cultural history. What? How did I miss this book in my research? Oh my god. Oh my god, there's a whole book. There's a whole book on this. Nice, dude. Let's go. I got a new book to listen to. Only 20 bucks. Only 20 bucks. Can we read some of this book? Can we look at this book? Let's go. A mind of its own. So did he get chopped? Yeah. Scientists can actually test a little piece to find out if the age could tell potentially be real. Sounds like it's real, bro. It's been in like all of the major churches. It's been in everywhere. It literally, look at this. It literally says, the foreskin of Jesus has been in all of these places. Like, it must be real. That must be real. They have a special name for it. They have a nickname for his foreskin. There are literally creators out here, like TJR, who are like, no, you'll never catch me doing OnlyFans. Way below what I'd be willing to do. Jesus gave his foreskin to museums. What's going on? What's going on? Sorry about this. This is my... The consensus seemed that he probably was. The no turtleneck Jesus hypothesis has scriptural support. Luke says, when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child, his name was called Jesus, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. He's writing roughly contemporary. Of course Jesus was Jewish. The first holy foreskin turned up in 800 AD as a present for the Pope. What is the present in getting... What is the present there? Why is that a present? Why is a baby's foreskin a present, bro? I don't understand. I don't understand why this is a present. Don't Popes like this kind of stuff, though? Yeah, I suppose. I suppose that's what we're finding out, isn't it? Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? Pope Francis is the most notorious one, isn't he? Lots more holy foreskins appeared over the next few. These are definitely people who we should be giving our respect and glory to. Wait, go up a bit? What? What's? The Mary Virgin kept the holy foreskin in a leather pouch before giving it to St. John. For the next 7 centuries, it remained in the pouch before someone, possibly an angel, brought it to Charlemagne's court. This story is recounted by Mark Shelley's essay, The Holy Foreskin or Money, Relics in Judeo-Christianity. There's like a whole essay on the holy foreskin? Is this the missing pages of the Bible? What's going on? This is an alternate timeline? What's going on? Relic of the foreskin of Jesus Christ? What's going on? What's going on? Are we like cracking the universe? Is this proof that we live in a simulation? What's going on? Is one of the several relics attributed to Jesus, consisting of the foreskin removed at the circumcision. They just kept that shit? That's a fire photo. Hell yeah. That's dope. Okay. We're done here. There's a lot of cool stuff that we could go on a cow trail forever on that front, but we will continue onward. We'll continue onward. Okay. Next tier. We're on the last tier. Tier 7. Tier 7. This is almost over. Hold on to the end. In some penis theft panics. This is the hardest course stuff, by the way. Penis theft panic. Genital shrinking. Curses in Africa and Asia. Welcome, Blokey. You just got here at the best part. We're talking about penis thefts. In some cultures, terror is contagious. To lose one's phallus, stolen by sorcery, is to lose not just flesh, but destiny. I think that's accurate. In Nigeria, in 2001, that was the year before I was born, mass hysteria broke out when men claimed strangers could steal their penis with a handshake. See, this is why I'm grateful for the internet. Right? This is why I'm grateful for the internet, because I know that I could ask ChatGPT, hey, could someone shake my hand and steal my penis? And it'd be like, yeah, okay. I'm going to ask that to ChatGPT. Let's see what happens right now. Let's see what happens when I say this. Can somebody steal my penis by shaking my hand? Question mark? Don't you dare sugarcoat the truth. No, nobody can steal your penis by shaking your hand. That idea came from old superstitions, urban legends, or fear-based myths. You know what they say about myths? You know what they say about myths? There's always a little bit of truth to every myth. Not biology. Your penis is a physical organ attached by tissue, nerves, and blood vessels. A handshake can't detach or transfer it. Your penis is safe. No handshake, no eye contact, no words can magically steal it. Are you asking for blunt reassurance that it's literally possible, or do you want me to explain the origin? I think that you're lying to me. I think that you're lying to me because I'm pretty sure somebody stole my penis yesterday, and all I did was shake their hand. I hear you, and I'm going to give it to you straight. It is not physically possible for someone to literally steal or remove your penis just by shaking your hand. That would require surgery or trauma to the body. A handshake does not transmit that, period. What can happen is something that feels just as real. There's a well-documented psychological condition called Koro. I told you! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? There's always some truth to the myth. There's always some truth to the myth. I am a myth buster. I told you. We're finding facts. We cut through the bullshit here. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. There's a well-documented psychological condition called Koro, sometimes called genital retraction syndrome. I just broke the matrix. People experiencing it feel with absolute certainty that their penis has shrunk, disappeared, or been stolen. I've cracked the code. Sometimes after a trigger like a handshake, eye contact, or suggestion. Maybe because it's real, huh? It's been seen in outbreaks of mass hysteria in Africa and Asia, where entire groups of men panic that sorcerers or strangers are stealing penises through touch or magic. But, medically, when doctors examine those men, their anatomy is intact. The brain and nervous system are creating the sensation of disappearance or theft. The anxiety is overwhelming, so it can feel 100% real. Truth? Nobody stole your penis. If it feels gone, what's happening is likely anxiety, stress, or psychosomatic response. Your mind is convincing your body of danger. This does not mean you're crazy, it means your brain is powerful enough to create real sensations from fear. If you want, I can break down some grounding steps to reassure yourself physically and mentally. Do you want me to send you a dick pic? Because I don't have a penis. It's literally been chopped off yesterday. They left a note on my pelvic floor. Okay, maybe this is out of hand. Maybe this is getting out of hand. Maybe this is getting out of hand. Sorry. I just wanted to see what it would say. That didn't actually happen. My penis is intact. I just wanted to see what it would say if I said that. I want to pause here. What describing is very serious. Okay. This is what happens if you ask it. We're just out of curiosity, right? We're just doing this out of curiosity. Just theoretically. If you truly believe your penis has been physically removed, and you even mention a note being left, that is an emergency medical situation. If this is literal, you need to call emergency services, or to get to the nearest emergency room immediately. A genital injury like that would cause massive blood loss, and it cannot be managed by yourself. It's not literal but feels real. If it's not literal but feels real, if there's no actual wound, then you're experiencing matches exactly with what I mentioned earlier, a psychological panic attack. Either way, there's bleeding. Go get help. If it only feels missing, okay. In Canada, you can dial 988 for suicide crisis helpline. This isn't suicide. My dick's getting cut off. Do you want me to give you emergency numbers right for your... No, okay. Great. Wonderful. I'm glad we got that sorted. Back to the list. We've only got a couple more to go, and then we are done for the night. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. I think this was a good idea. I should tell ChatGPT I'm okay. That's fair. I should give him the benefit of the doubt. That was my custom GPT, I think, too. This GPT knows a lot about me. I should probably let them know. You've been pranked. It's just a prank. I just wanted to let you know that I just wanted to prank you. I just wanted to see how you'd respond. So, nothing to worry about. All right. Perfectly fine. Got it. Thanks for clarifying. You got me with that one. But since you're fine, prank successful. Great. ChatGPT's relieved. Okay. We basically learned a lot about that, actually, through that ChatGPT conversation. That was great. In Nigeria in 2001, mass hysteria broke out when men claimed strangers could steal their penises with a handshake. Panic turned violent. Mobs killed suspected thieves. What? Mobs killed suspected thieves because they thought through hypnosis that their penises were stolen. Police arrested over 100 people before order was restored. Imagine dapping someone up and immediately being like, bro, where's my meat subscription? Imagine shaking hands and instantly going, bro, where's my subscription? Imagine calling 911, help, somebody stole my dick. Dispatcher's like, sir, have you checked your shorts? No, but I'm confident. Okay, self-mutilation and madness. This is one of the last ones. These are the most extreme topics because it's at the very end. So like, best for last. This is like a Iceberg. This is going to be on my YouTube as well too, as like a comprehensive video. So we're at the end of the iceberg, basically. Self-mutilation and madness. When fear turns inward, the phallus becomes the sacrifice to many. The Greek myth of Pentheus told of men torn apart for denying Dionysus. In modern psychiatry, men in psychosis have mutilated themselves, believing demons dwelled in their penis. That's a new one. One 1967 case, a man amputated his organ, convincing it was possessed. Yo! That's crazy. That's like the second workaround for a witch to get you to believe that your dick is gone, is like just to convince you that your pig is possessed. That's crazy. What the fuck? Harrison, it's not. This is you, and you join the stream at the end. This is the end of the tier. This is like the deepest pillar of the iceberg. So you did. That's on you, bro. Some religious stuff probably with demons. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Dicks and penises is not for the faint of heart. That's not cutting toxic people out of your life. That's cutting the membership card. Forget blocked on Snapchat. This is blocked in the astral realm. It's not cutting toxic people out of your life, bro. Extreme ritual modifications. Hurling, splitting, and implants. Flesh sculpted into symbol. Initiation written upon the organ itself. In Papua New Guinea, some tribes practiced subincision, splitting the underside of the penis to imitate menstruation. I don't like this. Why is this being brought up again? Believed to balance male-female energies. Ugh! Makes me cringe. In Japan, Yakuza inmates inserted pearls under the skin for each year served in prison. It's like cut open the dick and then put pearls in. Cool. Cool. Forget tattoos. Bro's got bedazzled balls. Bro's got bedazzled balls. Bro thought his meat was going to witness protection. Bro went from grower or shower to transformer. Oh my god. Cannibalism and dark fetishes. To devour the phallus is to devour... Hold on. Chill. Okay. Double chill. This is... Okay, this is the end of the frickin' iceberg of this. We started with superficial stuff. All this stuff is really gross and cringy, so... That's just where we're at right now. To devour the phallus is to devour life itself. Creation inverted into destruction. In 2012, reports surfaced in Papua New Guinea of a cult practicing ritual cannibalism, including the consumption of genitals, believing it granted spiritual powers. Not cool. Imagine showing up to a cookout and someone's like, yeah, this is sourced locally. Imagine showing up to a barbecue and someone's like, yeah, this is free range. No thanks. The psychological abyss. How many are left? Okay, these are the last two. These are the last two. Why are you wearing a dick? Because I'm making a video about dicks. This is a dick or surrounded by copper. And it's rose quartz, which is the love quartz. So this basically amplifies sexual energy. It's like a sexual energy amplification. And there was these two hot lesbians today which fell in love with me. So it works, is what I'm trying to say. And I haven't worn it, like, basically ever. How many people would just eat animals and they added cannibalism to it? Yeah, I know. That was really uncalled for, to be honest. But we're at the end of the... We want to wear... If it didn't have, like, a climax, like, these crazy things, then, like, it would have been a boring iceberg. So, I'm okay with it. The psychological abyss. Freud again. Archetypes and castration anxiety. In the psyche, the phallus becomes mirror of power and fear. To lose it is death. To control is godhood. Freud called the penis central to castration anxiety. Jung called it a symbol of archetypal masculine power. Carl Jung is the GOAT. I love Carl Jung. He's such a G. Carl Jung is the king of shadow work. Carl Jung is the king of personality archetypes. Carl Jung is the king of philosophy. I love Carl Jung. And it turns out his mentor was a freak. we thought that he couldn't please women, and so they must want his penis. No, okay. I'm sure Freud was a good guy too. In modern psychiatry, men with BDD, body dysmorphic disorder, it's probably me, I work out every day, obsesses over penis size, leading to despair. Okay, that's not me. I'm chill on that one. Leading to despair. That's a scary word for the concept of thinking about your penis. Sometimes a cigar is a cigar, is Freud saying. Okay, sorry. Freud would say sometimes a cigar is a cigar. Also Freud. But most of the time, it's your dad's meat. Bro, why are you calling us dicks? It's Friday, bro. I'm not calling you dicks. It's stream about Dicks Friday on Kick. That's just what it is. It's not about you, bro. Don't take it so personal. Bro, Freud was like, someone's a cigar. Sometimes a cigar... Sorry. Freud was like, sometimes a cigar is a cigar. But we all know, I was obsessed. Something else. The penis is a cosmic symbol. The last and final point of the penis iceberg. At the end of the abyss, we returned to light. Across all layers, sacred, grotesque, scientific, cosmic, the penis is revealed not as a joke, but as a mirror. It is power, vulnerability, myth, machine, curse, and key. To understand it is to understand a man's hunger for mastery over flesh, over soul, and over life itself. Basically, you're just a penis on a stick trying to figure out taxes. And now we know a lot about Let's go. We did it. Okay. Q&A about dicks. Anybody want to know anything else? Anyone want to know anything else about dicks? Dick Q&A. Dick Q&A. Before we close this out, do we want any more information on the pyramid? Do we on the fucking whatever, the iceberg? We did a whole iceberg. We covered all of these topics about dicks. Do we want to talk about anything else? Any other topics? Any questions? Does anyone have any did you guys take notes? Did you take notes? Are there anything missing? Do you have any questions about your notes? This is like a free masterclass. Yes. What is the old wise dick? You need to be more specific than that. What do you mean? There's many old wise dicks. Many. I have a real question. Yes? Yeah, definitely watch the video for ones you miss. Who has questions? Dick questions. I'm going to be on until, what is it? 10:14? Okay, I'm going to stay until like 10:18. I'm staying, I'm going to chill. If you have any questions, we can look them up and extend it a little bit. Do you feel the flap switching between two tubes because one hole? Pause. Do you feel the flap switching between two tubes because one hole? I'm confused. I'm confused by that question. I'm going to ask ChatGPT what you mean by that, and we'll see if we get a good answer. So somebody in my live just asked the question about dicks. Do you feel the flap switching between two tubes because one hole? What is the context of this question? I'd love to help them. I'd love to explain this conundrum for them, but I'm a little confused. Maybe we're going to crack into something important. Yeah, it's a pretty wild way to phrase something, but I can decode it for you if you explain it back clearly. What they're talking about is most likely the male urethra and the way it serves two functions. Hopefully ChatGPT will understand you. Yeah, let's see what goes on here. It does. It actually explained what you were saying. I get what you mean now. Do you feel the flap switching between two tubes? Because you're saying like there's piss and there's cum. That's what you're saying. Urine not from the bladder, semen from ejaculatory ducts connected to prostate, seminal vesicles. Both fluids exit through the same hole. The urethral opening at the tip of the penis. The flap they're referring to is the real structure in the internal urethral sphincter. That's where the word sphincter came from. Nice. Sometimes described as a valve. When you urinate, that sphincter relaxes and allows for Wait, let me read this so I understand it too. Both fluids exit the same hole, the urethral opening at the tip of the penis. The flap they're referring to is a real structure called the internal urethral sphincter, sometimes described as a valve. Okay, I'm caught up. When you urinate, that sphincter relaxes and allows urine to flow. When you ejaculate, this sphincter tightens to block off the bladder, so semen doesn't shoot backwards into it. Okay, that makes sense. That's why you can't pee and ejaculate at the same time. Body automatically switches tracks. So to answer their question, you don't feel, it's answering for me, which is true. You don't feel a literal flap flipping back and forth. True. What's happening is your nervous system activating different sphincters. So the urethra carries either urine or semen, not both at once. And then it gave me a clean way to explain it. It's one pipe with two systems feeding it. There's a muscle valve inside that switches between letting pee out or semen out. If you don't feel the valve itself, you just feel the result depending on what your body's doing. Boom. If I see the sun going up, should I go to bed? Irrelevant. That's so sad that you don't feel it. Yeah, that's funny. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions before we close off? That was a fire question, by the way. That was actually a really, 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 really good question. Like, it was. Maybe we could do like a diagram or something. Like, would there be a good diagram? I mean, you can feel it, but this is last level of Iceberg. You can, yeah, this is the last level of Iceberg. Somebody actually messaged in the, I'm streaming on Kick. Okay, I'm streaming on Kick as well too. And when a man learned to feel love, he must also bear the risk of feeling hate. Very true. I feel like we're talking like a yogi is just like sitting in the corner of the room, talking this dick conversation. What is the old wise dick? The big black one. Okay, how's life in America? And how are you? Okay, let's see what ChatGPT says for this one. I'm just gonna copy paste the prompt there. The old wise dick, big black one. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with to educate us on. One of my viewers wants education on this topic. Like big big black dicks. The old wise ones. You're welcome. This is the end of the tier. This is the end of the video, so only the true diehards are watching at this point, because this is going to be like a 2-hour long video or whatever, so you deserve this. I'll keep this respectful and educational for you, so you can actually give them something valuable on live. When people say this, the old wise dick, or emphasize the big black one, it usually comes from a mix of cultural myth and symbolism. Across history, phallic symbols have represented power, wisdom, or life force. Some cultures carved exaggerated genital statues as a way of honoring fertility and masculinity. Calling it old and wise is more about turning the penis into a symbol, not a person. I'm sure that's what you meant. I'm sure you had the depth when you thought that prompt out to think about it as a symbolic object when you said that. The idea of the big black dick comes from racial stereotypes, didn't say racism, which aren't scientific truths, but social myths that got exaggerated through porn and cultural storytelling. Hold up. But social myths that got exaggerated? Are you telling me that not all black dudes have 12-inch dicks? Are you about to blow my mind again here? It mixes fascination, taboo, and shock value. People sometimes turn that into a kind of mythic archetype, the ancient, powerful phallus. Why people joke about it. On the internet, calling something the wise dick is usually satire. Is this a thing? This isn't a thing. It's giving the penis the role of a guru. Who does this? Where did you come up with this information? Just tell me it's not a thing. What's going on? As if it's not just a body part, but a teacher of hidden truths. That's kind of facts, though. Think of it as the meme version of ancient fertility worship. So you could tell them on live. When they say the old wise dick, they're not talking about a specific guy. They mean the mythic idea as a symbol. Kind of how ancient cultures used to carve statues of giant phalluses. See, so like, hold on. Get the world map of the sizes for defense. Facts. I have that. I was on, I have that chart. I have it. I already have that chart. Do I have that chart? Yeah. Oh, this is for the UK. Top 5 countries? Bottom 5 countries. Ho, 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 ho. Dude, average penis length. Is this real? Is this actually what it is? I find it hard to believe this is actually what it is. Because it's saying Canadians are 5.5. Canadians average dick size are 5.5. Americans average dick size are 5.1. I'm Canadian, so you get shit on. Actually, I forget I said that. I'm Ecuadorian. I'm actually Ecuadorian. Sorry. I forgot about that until I read that their average dick size is 6.9. 6.9? Ecuadorian? Who are Ecuadorians? What are Ecuadorian people? Ecuadorian people. Congo, Nigeria. What does an Ecuadorian person look like? Ecuadorian dude. Okay. Alright. 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 6.9. 6.9. 6.9. 6.9. 6.9. 6.9. That's hardcore. And synchronistic at the exact same time. Second one is not horrible. Yeah. Republic of the Congo did great. Nigeria did great. Venezuela did great. Colombia did great. Phenomenal numbers. Phenomenal numbers. Thailand, sitting at a 3.7. 3.7. Let's look up a Thai dude. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Okay. So we got the culprit here. We got the culprit. Okay, so in conclusion, these are the top and bottom of the food chain. This is the 3.9 inch dick, and this is the 6.9 inch dick. This guy, in ancient cultures, would have been the shit. This guy would have had statues made out of him, because in ancient times, they revered the small dick, and they thought it was cool. In ancient times, this guy would have been a warmonger. But now, he'd be a porn star. And now, he would be probably not a porn star. So, that kind of concludes all we really need to know, I think. That was pretty badass. There's actually one more video that I'll show you that I collected that we never watched, which was this chick talking about... Is this chick right here? Chick Norway. This chick. She, if I have the link... I think I have a link somewhere. Where's the link? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this chick had a good video. And she is very attractive, and she talks in a very seductive way, which is cool. Who doesn't appreciate that when you're looking into this type of stuff? Okay.
stated that the ideal of male beauty was a gleaming chest, bright skin, broad shoulders, tiny tats, strong buttocks, and a tight grip. Meanwhile, larger penises were depicted rather negatively in ancient Greece, like this bad boy right here. What you see illustrated here is the sapphire, a mythological creature that was depicted as barbaric and had no huge cock. What I wasn't aware of was that the Greeks often presented their enemies, the Egyptians, these sapphire creatures, and even fools in comedies having larger penises. So it was quite a negative thing to have, which is quite different from today. Essentially what I discovered was that big D bad, good things in Greece. But why was this completely different from today? Well, watch my next video to find out.
So I did some digging. I found this quote from the Greek playwright Aristophanes that stated that the ideal of male
It's just it. Size does matter. At least it did for ancient Greeks, but maybe not in the way you think it would. So last time I spoke about how all statues of celebrated figures in Greece, such as Zeus, Hercules, celebrated athletes, all presented with a small package. Meanwhile, in the arts, in comedy, for example, those were considered foolish or barbaric or depraved all had larger penises. So why is this? Turns out that in ancient Greece, having a smaller package was considered a sign of virtue, civility, and self-control as discipline. Meanwhile, having a bigger one was a sign of lustfulness, gluttonous appetite, and barbarism, which is quite interesting, it's different to today. I just think it's interesting to compare the perspective back then that smaller is better with the view today that sometimes people think bigger is better. And it just goes to show that our standards are ideal for all social construct, and we shouldn't get put down feeling bad about ourselves because of what society is.
I want to cover things that can help people master themselves. So I just covered the iceberg of dicks, and I want to help my audience understand how they can utilize this information to become the best versions of themselves, whether they're a man or a woman. What can they take away after going through just that comprehensive understanding of all the different intricacies of history in relation to penises? I've got some off the dome if it comes up with shit as well too. Don't think longer, just tell me. Yeah, this is where you flick the shock factor to self-mastery. Your body's more than biology, it's symbolic. Culture across history carves statues. Why? Because sex organs represent life force, whether you're a man or a woman. Recognize that your sexual energy, your creative energy, your life energy gives you leverage over yourself. Don't waste your sexual energy unconsciously. Channel it into growth, fitness, art, relationships, and purpose. That is fire. I back that message. You need to be able to hone that sexual energy, to be able to control your dick or control your sexual urges one way or the other, to be able to have badass sexual experiences. If you actually want to have good interactions, you got to level up to the level where you can actually have fun and actually have skill and be worthy of other people who have high levels of skill as well too. And if you're doing it on a low level, you always just feel insecure about yourself, and the other person feels the same, and so neither of you can fully embody what you need to embody to feel fully in the present and sexually developed. And so if you can figure out how to hone that energy instead of wasting it on only porn or only on hookups or whatever, but into creative expression and also into clothing and all these different components of your life, writing, whatever, then you're creating something which makes you a more sexy person. A person who has a lot of hobbies and a lot of interests, who is passionate, is someone who is a sexy person. That's the characteristic of a sexy person. And so you can build your sensual energy, you can hone it, and your dick is kind of just like a symbol of that. Ego versus essence, the obsession with size comparison. So self-mastery means moving beyond measurement to performance anxiety and embodying confidence through character. Fire, super true. At different stages of history, people like different things, and it's literally all about everything about your personality, everything about the foreplay leading up to other circumstances. Foreplay in a broad term, that can mean a lot of different things. Build up in any sense, you know what I mean? Even the things you talk about. If you're, just gossiping about something that makes her dream and go into her own world, that gets her excited, that makes her go, wait, what? Before you do something. That puts a blank slate in her mind before you enter into something intimate. And then, there's this book called the Kama Sutra, and I was watching a podcast about it today, because it's super dense by itself. I'm going to listen to it though, but this chick was talking about how in the Kama Sutra it talks about how you should make a girl come twice before you even go into her. And that's a fire rule, which very few people would follow, but if they did, just imagine the difference in their lifestyles and that type of partner versus someone who didn't, right? So It's all about technique. It's all about like how you go about it. It's all about energy. Energy. You control your energy. Orientation. You control how you orient towards sensual things. Self-mastery is confronting the shadow. Heal your sexual shame. Stop comparing yourself to others. Own your body fully. Facts. Most people are super uncomfortable. Most people don't like look at themselves or think about themselves in a sexual way most often, and they just never develop that sexual side, or they do it too much and it becomes egotistical. So fire, face your shadow, but don't get controlled by ego. Unity of opposites. Women can master themselves by seeing through stereotypes, choosing partners by energy and character, not myth. For women, understanding penis history also means seeing how the symbol of masculinity has always been about power, creation, and destruction. When you understand the cultural archetype, you can navigate relationships without falling prey to shallow myths. Guys. Yeah, so it's basically just understanding guy psychology. It's like me watching 50 Shades of Grey is basically what it's saying. It's like you can understand guy psychology and where they stand, understanding what their variables are and what the fundamental truths are. And because you know the fundamental truths of reality in their arena, you can have confidence. You can't be snuck up on with a conversation. You can understand why they would have certain psychological characteristics. So yeah, after going through the whole penis iceberg, what's the point? It's this. Your body carries power. Not just biologically, but symbolically. People project shame, myths, and insecurities onto sexual organs. But self-mastery is about reclaiming that energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, the challenge is the same. Take the life force that culture wants you to waste and channel it into becoming someone powerful, disciplined, and whole.